Hey, crafty friends, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky DIY. Sorry, I am a little bit delayed today. I was having some tech glitches getting on. First Friday free. It is March 3rd. Hard to believe it's March already. It's an absolutely beautiful but chilly day here. The sun is shining. There was frost on the trees when I got up this morning. It was absolutely beautiful. But today we are doing something that's a little bit different. I saw a card that inspired me. Um, so we're going to take a couple of elements from that card and we're actually making a shaker card. I haven't made a shaker card in forever, but I thought that we would give it a shot today and see what happens. So I'm using By the Bay for my designer series paper. I've also got a sneeze coming on. Oh, excuse me. Waves of Inspiration is the stamp set that I'm using. Now I am going live via StreamYard, so be sure to allow access so that I can see your name when you comment. If you're watching the replay, please let me know. So let's get started. I've got Balmy Blue here. Now we're going to start with this little card. It's a 3x3. I've scored it. It's actually 3 inches by 6 1/8. And I needed it a little bit larger to accommodate our adhesive strips, which is what I am using to create. Now, 1/8 of an inch is really hard to fold. Okay, here we go. So we've got this guy. I've also got a frame that I've done up in Balmy Blue that is going to fit over top. And we've got a piece of our designer series paper, which is going to be our back. So we're going to put this guy down first. This one is a 3x3. Then we're going to take our piece of Balmy Blue, and that's what we're actually going to adhere our window sheet on. Now, if you don't have window sheet, you could, this is actually a piece of plastic from a bakery container. So we're actually just going to stick it right on top. Now I've already scored the adhesive sheets. It's a full sheet. I've scored these guys at roughly 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to grab my scissors and cut along the score line. Oops. And our final one. Now this is double-sided, and the protective layer is on both. So it will easily allow us to cut. Now you want to make sure, you don't necessarily have to go the entire way, but you do want to make sure that you've got enough that it's at least going to cover your opening. Because the last thing that you want is for your shaker pieces to come out. Oops. I'm not sure why I thought I could just tear that with my fingers. That did not work. Now, if you wanted to, you could totally color it. Yeah, that'll work. With either your Stampin' Blends, if you have a coordinating color, just so that you can't see the white edge. Is that one going to work? Oh, just. I might have to trim just a tiny little bit to get it to fit. Yeah. Now, it also depends on what you're using to fill your little shaker bit with. I was going to go with glitter, but then I realized that it's me, and that's probably not a good idea. So I actually hole punched a load of actually, I did that backwards. Let's see what we can do here. Please don't rip. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Well, I can't believe I did that. Yep. Hang out with me for a while. You never know what's going to happen. But you know what? I actually don't mind making little goof ups when I'm doing a live video because it shows that I make mistakes too. You can learn from my mistakes and hopefully I'll never repeat this mistake again. All right. So for real this time, we're going to do this and use our regular adhesive. You could use tear tape. I wouldn't use liquid glue because it won't adhere to the plastic. It'll take forever to dry and it can go everywhere. Okay. There we go. So we've got our window sheet and now we're going to do, it basically creates kind of like a cake pan effect to keep everything inside of our card. But yeah, I'm using a bunch of hole punched shapes, so I'm not too terribly worried that stuff is going to escape. If it was glitter, it would have to be almost impenetrable. Okay. Here we go. Now, our last little bit here. I'm going to trim a tiny bit away. And there we go. So we've got our shaker piece done. I'm just going to put our little hole punched pieces into the center. Gather them up. If you have an embossing buddy or something similar, if you wanted to, you could rub down your surface first. I'm not too terribly concerned about that. So I'm just going to aim for center. And then, oops, give it a bit of a shake. There we go. Overfilled it slightly, so we're going to let some of these guys out. There we go. You want it to be full, but not over full. Okay, so there you go. There's your shaker piece done. Clean up some of our mess, and then we're just going to decorate the front, which I've got a piece of our same designer series paper, but I'm going to use the blue side for this one. And we're going to do, this piece is actually 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then we're going to get to working on our front piece. Okay. Bit of a process to get here, but we're getting there. If you wanted to, actually, I think I am going to use the designer series paper just to kind of continue that beachy theme. And then we'll just use one of the sentiment pieces from Waves of Inspiration. So I'm going to cut our designer series paper down 1/4 inch less than what our cardstock base is. 4 by 5 1/4. And then Oh my gosh, my hand's not working today. I absolutely love the colors in this paper. It's so relaxing. What are we going to do for our, you know what, we'll do crumb cake for our sentiment. 2 inches, no, 1.5 inches. Inch and 3/4. There's so many beautiful sides to this designer series paper. I'm just going to add a band of this one. I'm going to bring in some of the navy. I love it when the designer series paper does most of the work. Hey, Denise, I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Mary Louise. I hope you're enjoying your snow day on the East Coast. All right. So we are going to have a You're Totally Awesome kind of a day. And we're going to pull in, let's see what color, Pacific Point, I think. Definitely hitting all of the blues today. I also had Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana, but kind of feeling Pacific Point. This was a color that I didn't really use a whole lot. Oh, great. And I didn't stick it onto the block very well. Tell ya. Today is the whatever can go wrong will go wrong kind of a day. Okay, we'll center this. Close our ink pad before I put my elbow into it, which could very likely happen today. And let's see. Let's DSP this baby up. Okay, so 2 strips across the center, or 2 strips across the center of the designer series paper. Designer series paper across. Then we're going to bring our little shaker piece in. Now this card is probably going to be more of a hand deliverable versus a pop in the mail. Not really sure. Well, it might fit through the slot of doom if you're sending via Canada Post. And then we're just going to put our sentiment. I'm going to cut it down a bit. So bring it in by about 1/4 inch on all sides. And then I've got the classic matte dots that I'm going to use just to kind of anchor our piece here. Let's give it a little bit more of a focal point. Didn't do a great job on cutting that piece. Try again. It is getting close to the time where this trimmer blade needs to be replaced. All right. Non-cooperative. That's why we bring the scissors to the game as well. Okay. Now this is going to be a hand deliverable for me. So I'm just going to pop it up on our dimensionals. Now this pack is empty, but I'm just going to cut our border pieces and use that. Might as well use the entire sheet. And let nothing go to waste. Now, if you don't have the stamp set that I've used or the paper that I've used, you can absolutely go and do your own thing with whatever you have on hand. Okay, take your pick tool. 2 days in a row, I did not have to hunt for this on a live. We're going to bring in some white, and we're just going to do 3 dots on this side. Oops, not sure where that one went. And then we're going to do our 3 dots on this side, but lower. And there is our inspired shaker card with a regular full size that you can write your message on the inside. Actually, I'm going to, I don't usually add strips to the inside of my card, but I'm going to today. Just because it's here and it's begging to be used. Bring it in just a little bit from the edge. And then just give it a trim with scissors. I could bring the trimmer out, but scissors are a little bit quicker. So there you go. If you do try this, I would love to see your creation over on my Facebook page. This was a lot of fun to do, and I will definitely be doing it again. As always, I truly appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with me. If you're watching on YouTube, head over and hit subscribe. I have a special surprise once I hit 500 subscribers. And thank you so much. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you again soon. Have a great day.